Mason makes a building by placing one brick over it, one brick after it, another brick. By this way, our body is built by lots of cells. Today, we shall discuss about the cells, how it looks, what are the components inside the cell, how it works and function. I am Dr. J.P. Das, Principal of National Institute of Medical Science and Director of Mausami Hospital. Let's start the video. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all forms of life. Every cell consists of cytoplasm enclosed in a membrane. Many cells contain organelles, each with a specific function. The term comes from the Latin word cellula, meaning small room. Most cells are only visible under microscope. Cells emerged on Earth about 4 billion years ago. All cells are capable of replication, protein synthesis, and motility. Number of cells in plants and animals varies from species to species. It has been estimated that a human body contains 37 trillions of cells. The human brain accounts for around 80 billions of these cells each. Cell membranes or plasma membranes is a selectively permeable biological membrane that surrounds the cytoplasm of a cell. In animals, the plasma membrane is outer boundary of the cells, while in plants, the prokaryotes, it is usually covered by a cell wall. This membrane serves to separate and protect the cell from a surrounding environment and made mostly from a double layer of phospholipids, which are amphiphilic. Hence, the layer is called phospholipid bilayer or sometimes a fluid mosaic membrane. Embedded within this membrane, a microosmomolecular structure called chromosome, the universal secretory portal in cell, and a variety of protein molecules that act as channels and pumps that moves different molecules into and out of cells. The membranes is semi-permeable and selectively permeable in that it can either let a substance pass through freely or to limited extent or not at all. The cell surface membranes also contain receptor protein that allow cells to detect external signaling molecules such as hormones. Two different kinds of genetic material exist: deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA, and ribonucleic acid, that is RNA. Cells use DNA for their long-term information storage, and biological information contained in the organism is enclosed in DNA sequence. RNA is used for information transport and enzymatic function. Transfer RNA molecules are used to add amino acid during the protein translation. Cell's information center is the nucleus. It is the most conspicuous organelle found in the eukaryotic cells. It houses cells' chromosomes and in place where almost all DNA replicates. The nucleus is spherical and separated from the cytoplasm by a double membrane called nucleus envelope. Space between the two membranes is called
perinuclear space. The nuclear envelope isolates and protects a cell DNA from various molecules that could accidentally damage its structure and interfere with its processing. During processing, DNA is transcribed and copied into special RNA called messenger's RNA. This mRNA is then transported out of the nucleus where it translated into specific protein molecules. Nucleus is a specialized region within the nucleus where ribosome subunits are assembled. In prokinetics, DNA processing takes place in cytoplasm. Mitochondria generates energy for the cell. Mitochondria are self-replicating double membranes bound organelle that occurs in various number, shape, sizes in the cytoplasm of all eukaryotic cells. Respiration occurs in cell mitochondria, which generates the cell energy and oxidative phosphorylations using oxygen to release energy stored in cellular nutrient. To generate ATP, mitochondria multiply by binary fission like prokaryotes. Chloroplasts can only be found in plants and algae. They capture the sun's energy to make carbohydrates through photosynthesis. Endoplasmic reticulum is a transport network for molecules targeted for certain modification and specific destinations as compared to the molecules that float freely in the cytoplasm. The ER has two forms: the rough ER, which has ribosomes on its surface that secretes protein into ER, and smooth ER, which lacks ribosome. The smooth ER plays a role in calcium sequestration and release and also helps in synthetic of Golgi apparatus. The primary function of Golgi apparatus is to process and package the micromolecules such as protein and lipids that are synthesized by the cell. Lysosome contains digestive enzyme. They digest excess or worn out organelles, food particles, and engulfed viruses or bacteria. Peroxisome has enzymes that rid of cell of toxic peroxides. Lysosomes are optimally active in acidic environment. The cell could not house this destructive enzyme if they were not contained in the membrane-bound system. Centrosome is the cytoskeleton organizer. The centrosome produces the microtubules of a cell, a key component of the cytoskeleton. It directs the transport enough, the ER, and the Golgi apparatus. Centrosomes are composed of two centrioles which lie perpendicular to each other, in which each has a organization like cartwheel, which separates during the cell division and helps in the formation of mitotic spindle. A single centrosome is present in animal cells. They are also found in some fungi and algae. Vacuoles sequester waste products and in plant cells store water. They are often described as liquid-filled spaces and are surrounded by a membrane. Some cells, most notably amoeba, has contractile vacuoles which can pump water out of the cell if there is too much water. The vacuoles of plant cells and fungal cells are usually larger than those of the animal cells. Vacuoles of the plant cells are surrounded by a membrane such as transport ion against the concentration gradients. A ribosome is a large complex RNA and protein molecules. They each contains of two subunits and acts as an assembly line where RNA from the nucleus is used to synthesize proteins from the amino acids. Ribosomes can be found either floating freely or bound to a membrane. Plastids are the membrane bound generally found in the plant cells and euglenoids and contains specific pigments, thus affecting the color of plant and organism. And these pigments also helps in food storage and tapping light energy. These are three types of plastids based upon the specific pigments. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll and some carotenoid pigments which helps in tapping the light energy during the photosynthesis. Chloroplast contains fat-soluble carotenoids pigment like orange carotene and yellow xanthophylls, which helps in the synthesis and storage. Leucoplasts are the non-pigmented plastids and helps in storage of the nutrient. Unicellular organisms can move in order to find food and escape predators. Common mechanism of motion includes flagella and cilia. The multicellular organisms cells can move during the process such as wound healing, immune response and cancer metastasis. For example, in wound healing in animal, white blood cell moves to the wound site to kill the microorganism that cause infection. Cell motility involves many receptors, cross-linking, windings, wounding, adhesion, motor, and other proteins. The process is divided into three steps: protrusion of leading edge of the cell, adhesion of leading edge, and de-adhesion of the cell's body and rear. The cytoskeleton contraction to pull the cell forward. Each step is driven by physical forces generated by the unique segment of the cytoskeleton. Friends, we have come at the end of this video. I hope you have liked the video. If you have liked the video, please give a like. If you are new in this channel, please subscribe it such that I can bring new such video in future very fast. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope to see you in future in another video very fast. Until then, bye bye.